So we're about to show you the starting procedure for a first time operation of the Benz, and I'm now going to pass you over to Volt, our chief mechanic.
Thank you. Before we start, first of all, we need to make sure that we got fuel. We use the lighter fuel as we prefer, but as high as octane fuel can be used as well. This is the water tank. We recommend distilled water mixed up with antifreeze to prevent corrosion.
Okay.
Greasing points. We use ordinary engine oil. Any grade will prevent that from seizing up. All the greasing points at the back. We use wheel bearing grease, but as thick grease on the market is better. The way to do it is turn them clockwise to the point that you feel the pressure on each one of them.
Okay.
This one is a little bit tricky because it's spring loaded.
Okay.
All you have to do is twist it to the side and make sure it goes in.
Okay.
Spring will allow it to release the grease in the right way, right time, when you need it. To fill up the carburetor, you have to open the fuel flap.
Is that to the downward position?
Downwards position.
Okay.
To fill up this tube in here, about halfway or 3/4.
Okay. So as you can see, it's on the halfway position. Okay.
Next step is, Chris, if you can come here, we have ignition key.
Okay.
To turn the ignition on, you have to unscrew it anti-clockwise, few turns till it's free.
Yep.
Then he makes the contact on the metal at the back, in here.
Sure. Okay.
To make sure this is touching, we have to put the contacts together to make sure it's sparking. As you can hear, the coil is working. Next step is, I normally do that with ignition off. So you have to tighten this up again. To release the contacts, you can show them as well. Here.
Yep.
So those two metal plates are not touching each other.
Okay.
To make sure they're not touching each other, if you touch the contacts, there's nothing happening.
Mm-hmm. Now we're on to step 2 and priming of the cylinder.
To prime the cylinder, you have to turn this flywheel a few times. When you feel compression, that is the first time. We do that about 3 times, just to make sure we got fuel in the cylinder. 1, 2, 3. Before we start up, we make sure that the valves to feed the oil are open. Now let's turn the ignition on. Should be on now. Let's double check it. Yep, it is on. So we turn the flywheel to the starting point. You're going to grab the handle.
Does this have a choke at all? Or?
It doesn't have a choke. You have to operate everything with a throttle.
Okay, which
is here. To put more air in it, you have to turn it left anti-clockwise. To close it, you have to do opposite direction.
Okay.
To start it up, you usually need to have at least half or 75% hole open. That depends on the temperature outside. Let's try to start it. Again, starting position, go back, bring it. Forward. Or if you pull it backwards, you stop. Depends on the temperature of the engine. You have to readjust the throttle while you're driving. It's not a fixed thing, so you have to feel where you have Depends on usage of this vehicle. Obviously we have to shut the oil so it won't leak on our floor. And we're gonna keep it tidy. If you're gonna use this, if you're gonna start this engine on a daily basis, yes, you can keep the fuel inside, yes, you can keep the water inside, but if you're gonna plan to do that once a week, it's good to drain fuel from the drain, which is underneath the carburetor. Which is here. Obviously you have to open the fuel flap as well to drain the fuel completely. And also we have to drain the water. And the tap for that is down there. It's going to be difficult to show it. Which is here. And that drains all the water from inside. Okay. Also, in here, in this box, there's a 6-volt battery, which is good to get it unplugged and charge it at least once a week.
And the blocks there between the sort of suspension chassis,
that's just the transportation blocks. We are using them only to transport the vehicle from point A to point Z.
Okay. And also the chain, in terms of maintenance, do we have to lube that or anything? Or?
As I said previously, that depends on the usage. If you're going to use it at least twice a week, it's good to clean it and grease it up with ordinary chain lube at least once a month.